Modern philosophy, starting with Kant, specifically with Kant, and I can explain why, but modern philosophy, specifically starting with Kant, is unconscious to itself a Christian atheist project and doesn't know it. So that includes figures like Kant, Schelling, Hegel, Marx, Nietzsche, Freud, Lacan, and I could go on. Girard, these guys all of them are in one way or another. Some go a little more Christian, some go a little more atheist, right? Like Nietzsche and Marx. I'm going to teach Nietzsche and Marx together because they go way more atheist. But guys like Hegel and Lacan, they go more Christian, right? But the point is this: they're not like Dawkins, because Dawkins is not actually wrestling with Christianity. Dawkins just dismisses. It's almost like his cognitive structure can't even understand why it's relevant at all, which is not the case for a figure like Nietzsche and Marx. Nietzsche and Marx are wrestling with Christianity in a very strange way. They're an important atheistic slant on Christianity, which is quite revolutionary. So my point is this, is that Christianity has always been historically self-revolutionizing. It revolutionized itself at the Council of Nicaea. It revolutionized itself in the Great Schism. It revolutionized itself in the Protestant Reformation. And there are signs and non-trivial signs and totally connected to the work we're doing that Christianity is in a moment of self-revolutionization. And this self-revolutionization is not, it's a mistake, it's a regression to do the archetypal conservative identification with images. That's a mistake. That's what Peterson does, and it's a conservative gesture. But I think the more radical emancipatory political gesture is to think about, and this is an idea I got from Barry Taylor, who's one of the closest collaborators with Peter Rollins. Religion is most interesting where you would least expect to find it. And religion is least interesting where you would most expect to find it. And so this idea is driving that maybe the history of modern philosophy, without even knowing it, is preparing the ground for a 21st century doxa of our time, and that our job is to organize this doxa in such a way as that we provide a better resource than Joe Rogan and Jordan Peterson and Richard Dawkins. Because, like, honestly, like, Joe Rogan's great. I have nothing against him, but he's a bro. Like, he doesn't really know what's going on. He's a bro. Richard Dawkins is, again, a scientific materialist looking for eternity that doesn't even involve human beings. So he's not a part of a real human emancipatory political project. He can't be. And again, Jordan Peterson, I think, as interesting as Jordan Peterson's work is in many ways, he's totally sold himself out to the Daily Wire, and he's totally sold himself out to the neoliberal structure of society. And his main job, and all you have to do is pay attention to the advert. Like, it doesn't even matter what he's saying on his podcast. If you just look at the advertisements that are on his podcast, they're absurd. It's just anti-woke propaganda. And it's like, okay, woke is not freedom, but that doesn't mean that anti-woke is freedom. Like, that's that you know, it's that, you know. So I'm just saying here, you know, I'm trying to engage with these figures specifically because again, it's where the current cultural moment is. And I think that as underground theorists, I hate, you know, in academia when intellectuals, they act as if they don't have to pay attention to like what the current zeitgeist is, like what is actually being discussed and what people are actually listening. No, you should be engaging that discussion. You should be making interventions precisely in that discussion. So that's my aim here, and hopefully that sort of sets the ground for some interesting conversation.